Hello, hello. Looks like I have some water on this face. But good evening, good afternoon, good morning, because in 2 hours it's gonna be morning. Um, it's 10. I don't have my watch on me, but it's around 10:40, almost 11 o'clock, and I just finished the final exam like right now, and I am kind of proud. Okay, I am proud that I finished the exam, and I just want to say that it wasn't that bad. But it wasn't that bad in the sense that I really practiced and I studied a lot, but also that economics really like master's program because you take the same it's the same program, it's within the same curriculum, things sort of overlap, right? So because I was taking macro and microeconomics and econometrics, things were kind of overlapping. So it was to me it was like intuition instead of explaining things. There was math part. I didn't touch the math part because if somebody gave you, a 5 pound of stone and a 20 pound of stone, which one would you lift? Well, you lift the easiest one. So there was an easy part and a hard part, in my opinion, and both has equal points. So you have to you're supposed to answer one, like choose which one of them. So I chose the easy part. I don't know if it was easy. I don't know if it's just because I knew a lot of stuff, a lot of the things that I was answering. But anyway, whatever I chose, I think was great. But my excitement is that this is over. When I started these videos, it was in um, October. It was August 11, and I'm really excited that I'm reaching to the point where it's December 11 on Thursday, and right now at night, and I am completing the first semester of a master's program, and this is something that I never really expected, and I never really thought that I would ever do a master's program in economics, right? Because I did a undergrad in economics. I was majoring in computer science before. When I switched back to economics, things were like really harder because I couldn't. The math is the same, but it's a little bit different. And then like you do the math, you have to think about people instead of thinking about machines and engineering. So I have embraced that idea of theories and mathematical quantitative and those things. Then today, also at 5 p.m., I finished a research paper. I got submitted, it's gone. The paper was very exciting, and I want to talk about that later on. But it it talks about how the amount of education does not necessarily correlate to reducing income inequality in OECD countries, right? Organizational economic development, so whatever that is, OECD, something like that. But anyways, so what I was studying was that, if these nations have more education, it should correlate to the loss income inequality. What I found was, yes, there was some kind of low income inequality. The average was 32%, so that's below 50%. That means there is no really high income inequality in these countries. People are aware of. The average education was like about 10 years, or 10 years, which is like a secondary school. So it was great. It was fantastic. I was able to study this paper, and I enjoyed the econometrics analysis, and writing. For the first time, I wrote like 4,000 words in a paper, and then like 21 pages. I think it was a good a push. It was, and I didn't really like understand how much I've learned and how much I've gained until I threw the paper into the AI just to catch some, like, some errors or some spelling, some inconsistencies. Then I ask AI, like, is this paper like a high school paper, or is this paper like a high school paper, or an undergrad paper? Look, I didn't ask if it was a master's program, a master's paper. I just asked if it's a high school or a master's. I mean undergrad, and AI was like, no, this paper is like a master's PhD paper. So and this first semester of the master program, the paper was very compared, and I also already like has very complex stuff in it. So what I'm thinking about right now, because right now today I'm finishing the semester, and you know, in the next couple weeks I'm gonna be back to school again, right? Because January 15 we're opening, right? So not too far from now. But during this time, today is December 11, so from tomorrow, from Sundays, tomorrow is 12, so that's on Sunday, Monday, until January 15. That's a month. That's a whole month of the. That's a whole month of holiday. So from my understanding, right? From my understanding, if also I'm sick. You can hear my voice is changing, but I'm getting better. So I think I'm getting better. Anyways, from my understanding, like my goal is not to do PhD. Like, okay, it's not even in my I'm not even applying. Like, it's not in my mind to do PhD in economics, but I want to be able to do not economic, but any other study. I want to be able to do the research paper. Like, I want to be able to be able to gather the data, use economic theories, and test economic theories, and then sort of like write a paper. And even if I get a job at the company, whether I'm doing a financial analyst, whether I'm doing like I'm an engineer, technician, something, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm gonna be doing in a quantitative analyst, I wanna keep research as part of my just my enjoyment, just doing it for fun, and then publishing papers and papers and papers and papers and papers. I wanna be so good on that over and over and over. Very empirical. I wanna focus more on empirical because I found that I enjoy empirical, like so good when you test and see the numbers. Like, because qualitative like is very wording and it can be over the place, by quantitative part is wonderful. So I plan on doing this more and more and more, and it will be amazing. So right now I want to embark on I want to go on to sleep. Hopefully I have a peace of mind, and then tonight I'm gonna start a new journey of writing a new academic paper that will be published in the next coming month. So by the end of the year, this paper should be done. And because I've been obsessed with AI, I was thinking about maybe focusing on AI impact on productivity, or focusing on acquisitions, AI acquisitions, anything that will give me like an understanding, housing market, interest rate, something that will give me something that will make me talk about it in a job market, right? So that being said, stay curious. But before the video ends, I just want to say that if you look at all my other videos, my brain is shutting down. Like, I'm really getting tired right now. I don't even know what to say. But for everything I've been doing the whole journey, right? The whole journey I've been into it. When I started, like, I had this is like a progress. This is a progress people don't really understand. Like, when I started, I had no clue what I'm gonna be doing, right? Like, I ventured into the master's program. Like, some people know what they're doing. For me, it wasn't like part of my like thinking at all. So anyways, I would keep pushing. I would keep trying to see if I should venture into the research part. Not necessarily because part of living in the United States is that you have the resources. Like, I have the resources. Like, even before going to master's program, I had the resources. I had the computer. I have free access to data. I just didn't know, like, how do you like, I didn't know things like multicollinearity, things like, you know, testing for VIF, testing for descriptive statistics. Like I did those things in my undergrad, but it wasn't like very extensive. And I know master's, PhD level, they do like real research. For me, I'm not gonna be like sending out emails and gathering data. Like that's too much. You know, you need the funding for that. But I have access. I have the ability to extract the extract the data from the internet, from large organizations, World Bank, AI, IMF, OpenAI, Google, Facebook, and then use that data to like sort of like, you know, study them. And also the literature review, like reading other people's academic papers, it can give you an insight. Like I can read a paper that talks about, you know, AI, for example, and then sort of like, you know, study or try to answer the questions that are not being able to be answered. You know, because when I was doing research, I was studying the question that was never been answered before. Does the amount of years of education reduce the income inequality? You know, that's what I was studying, and at the end, I addressed the implications. Right? What are the implications? What should the future research focus on? And I think I should be, if I read other people's data, other people's research papers, I can eventually, like, you know, sort of try to answer the things that they could not answer. So I now feel like I have that mindset, that brain of venturing to something that I don't have no idea about, like try to dig into it, trying to answer the questions, have that motivation. So my hope is, if I'm gonna make this video, so if I get into that, that would be my new hobby, that'll be my new things to do, and at the same time I'm gonna be like applying for other jobs, you know, because I see jobs open, jobs like economists and research and empirical analysis. I'm like, I know those things. Also, I don't know if I should use Python, because now I'm using R, which R is great, but I need to run Python, right? I feel like Python it will give me it's another tool that is needed for other people. I've used Python before as a computer science major, but the difference between now and back in the day when I was taking computer science degrees, that now I can use whether Python, I can use C++, I can use SQL, I can use Tabular, because I have the purpose. I have the purpose of why I'm using it. Like I know why I'm using it. You know, it's not like I'm trying to do it just for grades. Like I know I can determine and say, okay, I'm gonna analyze the data, the findings, the empirical study by using this specific you know, by using these specific libraries to accomplish my goal, to accomplish my whatever I need, Stata, something whatever I can use. So Python and R are free resources. I believe also other things. Other than that, this is a 15 minutes video, and my hope is that I'm gonna be making more videos in the future, in the afternoon, in the evening. Now, without forgetting, I need to still make a video of a presentation presenting the Chinese government as a venture capitalist. I also need to do a video presenting my research paper about the Ministry of Education that I just published, but I have to wait until the paper is out, the results are out, the professors graded the paper. Other than that, I cannot publish anything. So other than that, thanks for watching. Like always, stay curious, stay safe, stay stay warmer here in Washington DC. It's extremely cold. Bye. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.